So in the past, a lot of times this was the civilian federal agencies. They had, remember we talked about FISMA, the Federal Information Security Management or Modernization Act, depending on where you were historically. But they're required to do it. In the government, if you process, store, transmit, manage, or review federal data, and this is our customers too in the state and localities because they're sometimes pulling this data down, so they're required to do this, or they have grant money from the government, they need to go through the RMF. And that was mostly the ecosystem that does it. We also, of course, do it in the Department of Defense and the intelligence community, and they have some additional depth and rigor around that process and different publications. But everybody in the government as a whole, including the contractors, remember, contractors process, store, transmit, manage, and review, and we have third parties that process, store, manage, and review our data in the federal government. They had to go through this. We didn't want to bring any undue risk into the government mission space. But what we're noticing is that we're seeing commercial organizations adopt this because CIOs, CISOs, and a lot of the security support staff are getting smart to the fact that they have the same issue. They got a banking system that is absolutely critical, and someone throws a server in there, and all of a sudden they have ransomware on it. A hospital, they got medical devices, which are basically computers, right? And systems, and someone throws a device on there, and all of a sudden, they get backdoored, they shut the system down, they encrypt it, or they're asking for some type of, so that is happening, we're seeing in commercial arenas, and those organizations, the mature CISOs and CIOs are adopting the same process. They're like, I need a framework to ensure that no one brings undue risk into my environment. And so I've actually seen it historically in the federal government, but through our different commercial customers and stuff, I've seen people adopt it the same way. That CIO or CISO becomes the authorizing official, and there's a risk executive in there that helps them understand both the mission and the systems and why they should either give it an ATO or a DATO. And sometimes it doesn't have the same formality, but it's the same process.